frame is good enough, and I want to get the let me test the phone. Let me test. Do a quick test of whether I can hear myself. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me? Hello, 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 hello. Yeah, I can hear myself. Alright. So then let's test this as well. Let's see. Hello. Hello. Yeah, I can hear myself all right. So yeah. So let me get my hair plug. And also I'm going to do a little bit testing of the local device. Let's hear that. This is my programming thingy. And also let me test this. Okay, so here. Okay, so hopefully this is good. Okay, just got this. Yeah, I think I got everything. All right, and I'm going to get this out. This deleted. All right. So, yeah. Encoding. Doesn't really matter. All right. Hello, everybody. So, you know what? I'm not only just a language teacher, or also work as a programmer. So in order to improve the learning experience, I also developed a sort of a teaching system myself. So here is how it goes. So this teaching system, right now I developed the English version, Chinese version, and the Japanese version. So for example, if you will say learn Japanese, I know especially the Japanese as well as Chinese. One of the really hard part for my students is to understand the how to write. Okay, because it's not just like 26 letters, then everything is just a combination of it. Learning Japanese as well as Chinese requires you to memorize in hundreds of thousands of characters or kanji, which is totally different system. And it's become so hard to memorize and even recognize the kanji or characters. So I also work as a programmer as well as a digital artist. So I want to use that and do a sort of experiment. So I want to change the format by using my own system as well as my own drawing, own imaginations, and to show you how to memorize things, hopefully help you understand things, okay, and help you find the connection between things. So for example, in Japanese, so for example, right now I got this Japanese, I can select a certain level, for example, JLPT, certain level, right? If I select it, I can get all these sets of kanji that required, and then we can go through everything. Okay, so for example, we can go to a certain character, and then I can get the maximum size of that character, and I'm going to make myself a little bit here. Okay, so maybe a little bit smaller. So we can learn how to write the character at here. We can learn these pronunciations, right? As well as this is like the animation coach based on the Hanzi writer, and I also wrote the Japanese stroke library myself. But it's good to have a reference, okay? And of course, we can learn this by the animation. But what I would like to show you is that while I demonstrate this for you, right? So for example, while I demonstrate this for you, how to write certain kanji, this can be recorded, okay? Everything, every stroke, as well as the order of things, and I will like add a little bit artistic flair to it, so it will help you understand it. I could create multiple versions of it, right? So for example, I can add a certain version, right? And I can have a complete new draft as well, but I can also use this as a reference, okay? So for example, I will give you the normal version, as well as for example, I can have a new draft, and I can say, well, this is like an eye, right? This is like an eye, ooh, eye and eyelid, something like that. And this will be eyelid, and then this will be like a person that holding a hand, like then the leg, something like that. I will give you a visual representation of how it's done. So it's like it's not like official way of memorizing things, but things I know this kind of characters kanjis is so difficult for foreigners to learn. So I think maybe this will give you a better understanding. Okay, and then we can add, so you can see that's the there will be the like the normal version of how they write, and there is the animation of how I did this thing, and so you can later learn, and also you can see this sort of artistic representation of things as well as these the animations. They help you learn, and of course, if some of is really interesting that uh, that I want to further discuss. For example, like I, right? Like this is like I saw something like that, like kawaii. Uh, all this is very important. I might add some of the study notes at here, okay? Just like normally how I did the explanations. I would like open a sort of a notebook. I believe that software is called uh, Typora or something like that. So basically, it's like markdown. I will type it just like how we type it, but I can also add explanation here. So don't worry, all this system will export the everything that I did during the class, so you can get a the review material, just like exactly how it's done. Of course, you can also watch the video as well. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense, right? It's just some experiment that I did, and I want to add more angle to tackle that problem. So if you just cram everything in your mind, you might feel, well, that's just too boring, right? You won't be able to like remember everything. But if I do this way, like, oh, and of course things is like human uh, writing, human explanations, not some AI explanations. You can see that how human variation from the like really standard reading standard, drawing standard, writing. Okay, so for example, for me, if I going to write it, I will do this rather than this really flat one. I will do something like this. Okay, not the like really flat one. Okay, I will do something like this. I will do something like this. Okay, so you can see this like handwritten thing, how they different from the like typed version, and I will explain things along the way. So for example, this is like a tiger mother using the teeth to pick up the cub, right? And then this is like the cub being lifted up, and then here this is the heart, right? This is the heart, like the heart, kokoro. And then this is the like the tiger, right? Being lifted up, and this is like the leg. Okay, so basically this is like, ooh, this big uh, tiger or like mommy cat like lift the cub up, something like that. So it's kind of it. Hopefully, give you a visual representation of how it's done. Right, this is like the eye of the tiger. This is like the teeth. Right, this is like the cub being lifted up, something like that. Okay, so yeah, hopefully that makes sense. And yeah, I will see you in the next section. Okay, yeah, this is the live recording uh, of my bootcamp. So everything is building public, and hopefully this will work. So I'm going to record certain session, rest a little bit. Record certain session, rest a little bit. Previous few months, I have been extremely busy and coding and doing all sort of stuff. But fortunately, everything go back to normal and start. Yeah. Okay. So let's continue. So let's listen to the local audio. See whether everything's fine. Right, so let's okay. So seems everything is fine. I'm going to go back to the studio, and I also developed a functionality search first project, so we can access every characters, and then we can search it here. Then can bring go to the focus teaching view, right? So that will be fun. Let's do it. Right, let's do it. Alright, so is it good position for me? Maybe, yeah, maybe a little bit to the left. Right, that's pretty good. Let's get started here. Right, let me adjust the setting a bit, and let me adjust the Japanese input method.はい、まずはね、人です。人というのはperson, human という意味です。人というのは人間 It's like 人間という意味です。人間。We often talk about like specific person or person related thing. Then we use the 人. And for writing the 人, it's fairly easy, to be honest. It's just one stroke at the left and right. 人 come from the Chinese. 人, you can see that the Chinese 人 人, right? The left stroke and right stroke, something like this. Okay. The general rule of thumb is from the left to right, from top to down. Okay. Really, really simple. So let's do that. 人 two stroke. You can think of the hito as the supporting, right? Like we people need each other's support. So one person then supporting another person. Okay? Or you can think of hito as the let me add this version, and also let me just give you some visual representation, right? You can sort of figure this as, oh, there's a person like chilling here, and hand in the pocket, right? And leg standing here like you, right? That's hito. Okay, and yeah, that's hito for you. All right, let's continue. When we talk about, say, hito, might say, nani nani jin. Okay, so you can have a different pronunciation. So, for example, 人間とか、日本人とか. So, yeah, all this is a very, very basic kanji. So let's talk about this. Okay. So I'm going to search for this. Okay. So this we got like the onyomi and kunyomi. Most of the time, if you look at this, it's like the pronunciation of a he, right? He, here, right? And so he is related to some, and most of the time, if we talk about some, we talk about the day, right? Like one sun is like the rotation of the Earth, so that's like one day. Okay, so and then we can sort of think about like the sun, the day, are also related to the time, right? So it's also related to jikan. Okay, let me just write it here. So first is the sun, of course, and then jikan. like the time. Okay, and if you look at the word jikan, the G is also heat related. Let me just jikan. Okay, you can see that this is also a sun because it's time related. Okay, but don't worry. Let's talk about the heat. Heat can be like hito, something like that, but it can also be nihon heat. Okay, this heat, jikan. So let's look at how to write this and how to memorize this. Okay, so since the original meaning is the sun, that's does it look like a sun? Okay, right? Look like a sun. So for example, that's the heat, and the writing order I already write it is something like this. Also, in Chinese, there's exactly the same character. Here's how it's done in the Hanzi writer. Okay, so that's the he. And if you think about this, it's really, really similar to the sun, right? And let's just add another new draft. If you look at skies like the sun, okay, and the sun is like shining, and it's so bright. Sometimes it will be something like this, so bright that your eyes actually close, and sort of treat this as an eyes and a closed eye. You might think, why not just draw a circle or rectangular shape? Because in Chinese as well as in Japanese, there are a lot of things that related to the circle. So, for example, let's just add a version, but I prefer to this version. Okay, he. You might think, why not just draw a rectangle or circle? Because there's a word called kuchi. Okay, you can see that kuchi. That's exactly the rectangle, right? Also in Chinese, there is a character like this. Okay, kuchi. But in Japanese, it's a little bit different in writing. Okay, so the kuchi is something like this. Okay, that's the kuchi. So you can't just draw a circle or rectangle for that because the mouth is also the similar shape. Okay, so that's the reason why you can't do that. Okay, so let's go back to the he. Remember what we are talking about. Okay, he. Okay, that's the he for you. So it's something like this, and in order to sort of regulate the drawing, it's like a circle, the sun, to brightly close the eye, and then you become something like this. Okay. Right. It turns out it's pretty tiring to I just finished like few characters and it's so tiring. Oh my gosh. Let's quickly look at the results. Okay, I think that's pretty good. It's pretty good. Everything is in order. Well, I think this should be the first one here. Stop. Stop. Okay, stop. And how to... Okay, yeah. So stop. Then the second one is the oh no. Right, how to quickly get the second one? 2 maybe. Can I do that? Maybe not. 2 and so how to switch? All right, how to switch? Stop. I have to manually do that. No reason. Stop. 人と非 Okay, so hopefully that's solved the problem. Alright, I want to quickly test whether the outside is sort of saved everything, right? So, for example, this set final. Should I get yeah, did I get everything? So for example, Kuchi. You already got that. That's good. Yeah, save all. That should do. Yeah, that should do. That should do the work. And can I download this? Okay, I'm like initialize accidentally to the backup functionality, which should cost a lot of time. So I'm going to chill a bit. Okay, still building. Uh, this software is the software that I developed like for the past week, so it's still not very stable. So still export progress. This must be a mistake because I don't want to export everything. It's like using a default fallback for everything that I did not do. But it's always good to oh, this is like doing that again. Yeah, that's definitely not correct because the yeah, building. It's like building everything. Okay, I'm sorry about that. You have to wait a bit, and I would chill a bit because it's just too much time. All right, still building. Alright, yeah, I'm back. Drawing will be defaults. Right, I prefer the stroke starting fonts. It's like writing. Let me quickly check. Where is it? Okay, where is it anyway? So I think I got the desktop folder, something like that. I got tons of projects going on. Okay, yeah. All right. Right, I'm back. I got I got tons of project going on, and just eat a tiny little bit, and yeah, and also got my laptop working on another project. So let's continue. So previously we got this hitokuchi hi. Right, let's continue. Right, let's bring this to. Right. Okay, so yeah, let's go back to here. We can go through this one by one, or we can go the free mode. That's pretty good. Let's go with the free mode. All right, let's go. Let's talk about this. Ijo this. All right, so yeah, let's talk about this. All right, let's look at this. So previously, we learned hito, and if you look at this, we can find something really, really familiar. That's hito. Okay, but here's the thing: it's hito with something more. Okay, what kind of thing? Something more? Just some dot, like the person, like the hito, is holding something, right? And then this is like a hammer. Like this is like a person on here holding a hammer, right? Okay, hope that helps. Then this is E. Okay, and if we're talking about E, is normally we don't use a singular kanji for that. We most of the time we use this as a level. Okay, so for example, ijo, ika. That's the using E as a sort of a baseline. and then we can go up, and then we can go down. And you can sort of think this as a, crazily strict chef. That is a person's hito. Holding, using your hand holding a hammer, right? So he can hammer out the baseline, and they can say, oh, this is really good, or this is really bad. He can give the final judgment. But normally for E, we don't usually use that, tantoku, tankuteki. We usually don't use that like in singularity. We we often use this like a kijun. Okay, let me just write it down. Kijun. Okay, most of the time we use that as a benchmark, as a baseline. So we can say like up or down. So we can say something is like ijo. From here, this is baseline. This is really like strict chef with the hammer or something like that, right? He hammer out, this is the criteria, this is baseline. We go up and then go down. Okay? Ijo is like ijo is like kijun. Ijo is like それより上。それより上。そして、we also have 以下。Okay? 以下 is like 以下 going down. So it's like それより下。Okay? 下 is like going down. 下. Right. So, yeah, as I drawed earlier, it's like a person, really strict person, like hito, using the arm holding a hammer, right? And let's write this like normally, okay? So if you use here, you can see that it got a really similar in Chinese. In Chinese, the pronunciation is also called yi, but it's more like the third tone going down and up. But for the Japanese, it's more like i, like I, U, E, O, like i. Okay, so let's draw this as well. So as I said, most of the time for the drawing, for the writing, is from the left to right, from the top to down. Okay, so this is more like if you find the Chinese guidance going up and down and up and dots and left and right. But for the Japanese, it's like this is like a le, okay, but it's going here, going here. So it's a little bit different. Even though the root is the same, if you draw this, it's a tiny little bit different. Okay, going down and lift it up a tiny little bit. And then here, dots, left, right. Okay, E, and you can see this like this. Okay, E, and I think this will be our final one. E, as a level, a person here using arm, using hand to holding a hammer. Okay, can hammer out things. As a baseline, ika, going down, ijo going up, and then you can also have the like a time limit. Okay, so for example, you can say something like the before. Okay, 以前 以前、以前から。以前 means the その前のこと。Okay? その前。以前。From this baseline and before. 以前。You can also say like the 以後。Okay? その前、そして以後。Here. 以後 is like 後。以後 is like その後。以後、その後。Okay? The same kanji but different pronunciation. As I said before, here, the Japanese kanji got the onyomi as well as kunyomi. Okay? Alright, that's I. Oh, it's like 以後、以来、それから、ずっと、something like that. Right, that's E for you. And I think this can be what kind of level? M4, right? M4. So let's make this M4 here. A lot of things like appear at multiple levels. So I tend to make it when with this first appear a certain level, and I'm going to classify this. Okay. Okay, let me check the another computer. Yo, I just trained a Laura. uh, it's not an AI project that I've been working on. Right, let's continue to learn a little bit about Japanese kanji. So the next kanji, previously we already talked about the ijo as well as ika. So why not also learn the 上と下。So this is 上. Okay? 上. Also, we can sort of look at the onyomi as well as kunyomi. Okay? 上、小、上、上. Okay? And I think right now you just need to learn this like 上、小 as well as 上. Okay? I think 上 is like the easiest one. And if you look at, it also come from the Chinese character, right? You can see that in Chinese it's kind of right like this, but in Japanese you can make it more square, okay? But you can also add your own characteristics. But I also want to quickly demonstrate why it's called ue. Okay. First, this is the base. This is the direction you're pointing. Okay. And then you're here say, hey, that's the direction I'm showing to you. All right, as simple as that. So let me showcase my drawing. Okay. And then if you know this version, we can write this because we are basically drawing the shape. And as I said, most of the time we're going to draw this from the top to the bottom. Okay, top to the bottom. And you might say, well, it's from top to bottom. Well, that's easy. This is like a top, so this should go the horizontal stroke all the way down, and then here. Okay, yeah, exactly. Of course, if you learn for fun, you don't need to worry too much about the writing order. Okay, just need to get the final shape correct. Okay, so ue from bottom to up. Yeah, ue. That's the final version. Ue. The ground pointing to this direction, and you point and say, hey, that's the direction I'm talking about. Ue. You can also say jo. So when we talk about this word, it's more like the 物理的 物理的 like physically. 物理 is like the physical, like the physics, like the field of physics. 物理 的 is like related to the physics. So 物理的 it's like physically, right? 物理的な where like directionally, physically, that's the above. So the very basic example is like the like square. Square の上 square 上に何々があります。Okay? Right, that's most likely. Of course, you can have like the like 地位的 level 上の人 right? That's like people from above, like 上の人. Yeah, and right now, thinks this is the first appear at N5, so I'm going to classify this as a very simple N5. Alright, so previously we learned about the ue, and let's flip this a little bit. Okay, let's flip this a bit. Let's talk about shita, ka, or ge. So in order to write this or memorize and write this, you have to memorize this as a pair, right? There's the upside and then there's the downside. So that's as easy as that. So shita, shita. Okay, that's the shita for you. If you compare this, just remember how we write the ue. Okay, I'm going to quickly write this. It's like, we got the ground as going up, but this is not the correct order. Okay, the correct order should do the stroke first, like this first, and then this, and then this. But I just want to quickly show you the ground and going up, right, and then pointing to here, right. So that's the way for you. Okay, so ue is something like this. But for shita, you can see that it's completely opposite. Okay, it's the ground as you're going down direction. And you sort of think, well, it should be here, right? But because of the gravity, you sort of pull it down. Okay, you sort of pull it down. So instead of like the where it's like the flat, it's more like something like this. Okay, and I'm going to give you some visual representation. This is ground. This is ground, right? Just go here because of the gravity, right? Sort of the arrow is like going down this direction, but yeah, going down because of gravity. Okay, I'm going to add this version, but also I want to know the correct version. It's also come from the Chinese character. This is called xia in a Chinese character. So here, from the top to the bottom, from the left to the right. You might say, well, from top to bottom, right, here is first, and then this should go directly up to down first, and then the dot. Okay, so we can learn from this by line. If you want, make it more like sort of a calligraphy feeling. You can sort of using this a little bit left to go down a bit, right go up a bit. This will be more, visually appealing. Good. Okay, and then dot. It's like going down. Okay, xia. All right, so that's going down. Xia. Let's add this version as well, and I'm going to apply this as a final. All right, so ue, shita. Shita is the kunyomi. Okay, let me just write here. So we got the kunyomi. Okay, kunyomi to onyomi. Okay, kunyomi is like from the like Japanese, spoken Japanese. Then when Japanese people talking about this, is like shita shita, and then they're like Chinese character imported from China, like this. Let's just delete one. Okay. And then they will say, well, then the Chinese character will represent the shita pronunciation. So the shita is like a more Japanese version of the pronunciation, but things there's Chinese character for that. So they will use the Chinese character, but use two pronunciation inside. Okay, but for the onyomi, so for example, ka in the Chinese character, this should be xia, and Japanese have a sort of a similar pronunciation to the Chinese because this is kind of a borrowed character from Chinese. So they will use the ka, xia, ka, right? So yeah, that's basically how the kunyomi, okay, kunyomi to onyomi. Onyomi is like a sound yomi. Kunyomi is like like the traditional Japanese pronunciation. Okay, so that's the stuff for you. Okay, all right. Hopefully I saved all this, and let's look at whether I got tons of characters that's saved. Sometimes the character is not mentioned because that's the while I developed this, I'm doing a lot of experiments. So yeah, don't worry. We'll go through the GLPT and replace some of the thing that I think is not good. So for example, we talk about the car, right? Okay, open. It give you exactly car for the this jaw. And get this. Let me just go here, mode. Let's see whether it's saved. Right, pretty good. Alright, let's chill a bit. Let's look at the projects I've been working on here. した。Alright, let's continue. So don't forget, we can start from the number as well. Okay. So for the very, very basic number is the 1. So 1. Right. So 1 here. Right. 1. That's the so easy one. Okay. So you know what? Really, really simple. Start from left to right. And it's the 世纪. So yeah, sorry about that. I got it wrong. Alright, so when it comes to like really basic, I almost forgot that we can start from number as well. So let's do this. So for example, number one, you can see that to start from the M5, which is good. Okay, let's start from here. So it's called ichi. Uh, you must have heard of this in a lot of like Japanese um, movies, anime, something like that, like Ichigo, Ichiro, something like that. So just basic number one. Okay, this is like really important, uh, really basic 最も基本的な数 kind of 数ですね。Let me just write it down. 数です。数です。So yeah, let's just draw this. It start from the Chinese E, right? And you can see that you got this that onyomi with the ichi or itsu, but the kunyomi is hitotsu. Okay, so let's start from here, left and right. I don't think this required a little bit more like explanations, just like when you hold yourself in a jail, right? Or like strand yourself in the island, you don't know the days and just carve here. This is like 1 day, right? You know what? That's like a carving. So start from left or right, okay? Just like I wrote, left, right, something like. Okay, so I don't think that's required a little bit explanations. Just make this one. Okay, ichi. let's continue. We got ichi. Let's add more numbers. Alright, so we learned about ichi. What about the two? Right, this is like 1. 2 is like, just 2. Okay, so it's a rather easy one. So we can just say ni or futa, like futari, futatsu, futa. So you can see that it's just 2-stroke, like you carve on the wooden board, right? So it's also come from the Chinese art too. But Japanese, we got this like onyomi as well as kunyomi. For the onyomi, it's like the ni or ji. For the kunyomi, it's the futatsu. Okay, but it's pretty obvious and self-explanatory. Okay, so just 2-stroke. So I'm going to just do that directly. 1 and then 2. This is very badly draw 1. So okay, 2. Maybe more flat. I think that my arms like shake a little bit. So yeah, just like this, from the top to bottom, right? Ni. Okay, you can see that's how it is done. Ni. We can say the kunyomi. Kunyomi is like the wakoke. It's like the wa is like the Japanese wa. Heiwa no kuni wa. So wa. Like washitsu. Washitsu is like a Japanese food no here washitsu. But we got this like wakoke. It's like the Japanese language system, right? Wakoke no hatsun. We call that the kunyomi. Okay, kunyomi. Kunyomi is the futa. Like the, you can see that for example this like futatabi is like again, right? But you can see that this 2 futa is like come again, like you do that and then come again. So for example, like we talk about hito before, right? And let's confirm this. We can get the like hito, right? We got hito before, and for example, I got like a 2 before this. That'll be futari. Okay, so let me futari. Okay, futari, like 2 people. Futari. Like come again, like 1 people come, 1 hito got here, and then another hito, so it's futari. Okay, so yeah, for example, if you like counting, you can say hitotsu, futatsu, you're adding a tsu as the like futatsu, you're adding tsu when you want to count something. So we also got the like the he. Okay, but if you want to say like 2 days, futsuka. Okay, so that's futsuka, like futsuka. So this will become ka. the he, the days will become ka, and then there will be the futatsu. So futsuka. So it's like 2 days. I know it's confusing, but you just try to memorize this as a completely separate things. But things we already learned is this specific kanji. So I want to like bring all this together. Okay, so that's the second. Okay, the second thing. 1, 2. That's the 2 here. And also, the first appeared in 5, so it's I will classify it in 5 as a really, really basic one. Whether it's the futa or ni, right?